What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to ways that sleeping is different in Britain compared to here in the United States. So I understand that there's a lot of weird differences between British and American culture, but I have to admit, this is not something that I expected to be different. Sleep? The way we sleep is different? It's starting to sound like we're an entirely different species or something. Okay, well, today I really want to take a look at this video by Lost in the Pond and learn more about this. So let's take a look.
Let's talk about bedtime. You simply can't escape the fact that the size of your bed is going to dictate the quality of your sleep. And there's also no denying the fact that Britain and America have different mattress sizes. How do I know? Because I've lived in both countries. But all...
What? Who knew this? I mean, who knows this? I mean, clearly he does. I mean, I think you really have to be in his position, somebody who has lived and stayed in both Britain and the United States to ever know about this. Am I the only one who had no idea there were different bed sizes or mattress sizes in different countries? I would have thought that was all standardized.
Also, Past Lawrence already told you about this. So the smallest bed size in the United States is the twin bed, and its nearest equivalent in Britain is a single bed, which is just as long as an American twin, but 4 inches less wide. After that, America has a twin XL, which is coupled with Britain's small double. Try saying that after 4 whiskeys. And then America has what is known as the full-size mattress. This is almost identical to the double-size mattress.
This is ridiculous. Yes, I know all of the American mattress sizes and all that. Even that's a bit confusing. The idea that there's a lot of very similar sizes in Britain that are, it actually sounds like they're similar, but slightly different by a couple of inches or centimeters, and they have different names. That's ridiculously confusing. There's no way anybody knows this stuff.
In Britain. In the US, some people sleep on the Queen. Not the Queen, that would be breaking news. On a queen-sized mattress, which is about 60 inches by 80. This is virtually identical to Britain's king-size mattress.
Wow.
But neither country ousts their bedroom monarchy there. What's better than a queen? An Olympic queen. In the US, this measures in at 66 inches by 80.
Okay, there's some weird... I've heard of most of these American mattress sizes, like the queen and the full and the twin, and I've never heard of an Olympic queen. I think that's actually kind of rare.
Funnily enough, the nearest equivalent in Britain is called, can you guess what it's called, can you? It's called a Super King, and it's 72 inches.
Super King! I thought our names were gonna be like cool and weird. You guys got the Super King. That's a big mattress, too.
It's by 78. And so Britain wins, except it doesn't, because America also has a king-size bed that measures 76 by 80.
That's true. And we have one that's bigger than that, too, called a California King as well. That's like the size of your entire bedroom.
And at this point, Britain's mattresses abdicated the throne, while America's just kept going with the California King at 72 inches by 84, and that's just showing off. Now, being the YouTube sensation...
So, I don't know if this says something about American culture, that our mattress sizes just get bigger and bigger past the point of any British mattress size. I don't know if it just kind of shows that we are a culture of excess and maybe like over comfort or something, because there's really no reason somebody needs a mattress the size of the entire room, but my God, we've got it. That's interesting. It sounds like in Britain you have every size mattress basically that we have. It's all different names, but basically all the same.
Temperature is crucial to getting a good night's sleep. And I think when you're talking about Britain and America, you have to factor in the seasons. In both countries, you'll find heaters, whether that's central heating through vents, like I have in this house, or radiators on the wall, like I had in Britain growing up.
Really? I don't know if that's his personal experience or if he is saying that's more common in Britain to have a radiator. You really never find that in American houses or anywhere really here, apartments or whatnot. I'm aware of radiators. That's considered pretty old technology. It definitely existed here. Talking like this is the pyramids or something. It wasn't that long ago that there were radiators, but we all have like furnaces and like regular heating by our standards. And I'm kind of curious if radiators, if that kind of heat is still found in a lot of British houses.
Never really had a problem warming the house in wintertime. It's really when it starts to get to this time of year, and specifically when it gets to summer. Here in America, obviously air conditioning is all the rage. It's needed because those summers can get quite hot, sometimes up into the hundreds of degrees Fahrenheit. But in Britain, when you're in a small room with more than one person or a dog or whatever it might be, something that's generating heat, you could either crack open a window or, as many people do, just sort of sleep in a puddle of sweat. That's what it's like in the summer. I can't remember what it's like to sleep in a British bed at this time of year in April.
Huh? Wait, what? What is he saying? Is he saying there's no air conditioning? Wait, what? Why are you sleeping in a puddle of sweat? You have to open a window? You don't have air conditioning? Am I understanding this correctly? He didn't come out and say it, but that's the implication. You don't have air conditioning? What? I'm trying to wrap my brain around this because here in America, it's beyond standard. It's expected. I mean, people would get mad if their house or apartment didn't come with air conditioning. That is absolutely necessary. It would get disgusting. I don't even know how you would sleep. I don't know. I know there's a different climate between the UK and America, and do you guys not need the air conditioning so much? I guess I just can't imagine. I mean, good for you guys. I mean, you're obviously saving a lot on electricity, and it's probably better for the planet in ways, but my God, I know Americans could never live that way. Like even opening a window I don't know. I never realized maybe that we're a bit pampered with our giant mattresses and our air conditioning to keep it exactly. Most Americans keep their house at a exact degree, like a certain temperature, like down to the degree, or they get a little cranky.
So maybe I'll go and find out. Well, I'm supremely jet lagged, partly because I only slept 2 hours on the plane.
Where to go?
So I need to go and find a Costa coffee or a bed, whichever's cheapest. Welcome to our room at the Hayden pub in Notting Hill.
Whoa! He actually traveled all the way to Britain to do this? That's cool.
Finished gawping in wonder at the layout, this phenomenal bathtub, and these majestic dog portraits. I'm gonna get some sleep. Right now, it's 2:18 a.m. and I'm whispering from the bathroom so that I don't wake up my manager because she was in bed next to me. To be clear, my manager is my wife. Anyway, I can't sleep because even though it's April, sharing such a small bed means that body heat becomes more of a factor. Also, I need to stop whispering now because in UK bedrooms there's no white noise to drown me out. This isn't to say that British people...
White noise. Is that another difference? There are a fair bit of Americans who do insist on having white noise, like static background noise, like the sound of a fan or whatever. A lot of people just play it on a cell phone or like an iPad or something just in the background to fall asleep to a little bit of noise. Is that really an American thing, though? I would think like a lot of people with access to that stuff. Like, is that an American thing?
Don't find a way to engineer white noise. Ex-footballer Wayne Rooney recently revealed that he sleeps with a hairdryer blowing in his face, perhaps to help him dream of Sir Alex Ferguson. Americans, on the other hand, are all about their white noise. My wife, for example, can't sleep unless we're playing a fake thunderstorm.
Yeah, thunderstorm, the sounds of like wind or crickets or static, or I wouldn't say like every American or even most Americans do this. I don't know for sure. I just know I don't. People I know some that do for sure. So I never thought about this as being like weird.
Sound of a train. Or my favourite, the sound of a spaceship. That is on top of the fact that there's an air conditioning unit. So mostly when I sleep, I dream about air. But that, believe it or not, isn't the only way my dreams have changed. But I've noticed in recent years, when I dream about people, they have American accents. Because that's what I hear every day. Now, I don't know if when I was in Britain, they didn't have American accents, because, you know, we are exposed to American TV and film. But I feel like if...
Whoa. This is getting weird. I like it. This is getting interesting. So, British people out there, you can answer this question. If you're British, you're living in Britain, do you dream in a British accent and everyone's speaking in a British accent? Or do you hear American accents or a mix? Or, because I'm here to say, you know, I have never asked other Americans about this, but there's no way that I've ever had a dream with anything other than an American accent. The Americans are not nearly exposed enough to other accents and language to dream about it. There's no way.
If I was dreaming about my family or friends back in England, they would have had the right accents. On some level, I suppose this is in line with studies that show that people who speak multiple languages often dream in more than one. For me, those languages are English and American English. But now I dream about either American people who are real in my life or American people who are made up or scary Russians.
I mean, that's not crazy. That's not that weird, like when you think about it. Whatever the language or the accent that you're hearing on a day-to-day basis, you're interacting with, you're thinking in that accent, you could say. It's making your brain sort of register that as normal, and that's kind of what you dream about, I guess.
Something that I noticed after living here for a while is that many, not all, but many Americans don't know what a hot water bottle is. What's a hot water bottle, Lawrence? It's basically exactly as it sounds. It's a bottle that you fill up with hot water that you stick in your bed to keep the inside of the bed warm. Even
What is this? A hot water bottle? And it looks like that rubber thing. This sounds a little familiar. This is a very British thing. So you guys put a hot water bottle rubber thing under your blanket to heat it all up? That is very weird. Don't get me wrong, that's very weird. But another part of me, the open-minded part, is like, that doesn't sound too bad. What if you touch it? Does it burn you? It sounds a little scary. It's just funny because this is not, when I tell you, not a thing in America. Like, nobody does this. Nobody knows about this.
though you have radiators. And I had one of these growing up, and I think, having read Reddit, they are fairly ubiquitous still in the UK to this day. In America, they seem to be associated with two things. One, the past. In other words, they used to be used quite a lot, but aren't.
Maybe. I don't know anybody who used this, like my parents or grandparents. I don't know anybody who used this, so I don't know how far back in the past we're talking here.
Anymore. And two, as a sort of heating pad. If you've got like swelling, they might be used in that capacity. I don't think I've seen one in the entire time.
Maybe. Yeah, I've never seen one here in the United States. I've never seen this.
Time I've lived in this country. I've also not needed one, to be fair. But let's see if Reddit is correct. Lawrence in Britain, over to you. Well, I just randomly walked into a Boots and lo and behold, found 3 different types of water bottles.
These are just for sale in your grocery store. This is really common in Britain. Ha!
I opted for the blue one because the other 2 made me think of sheep and prisons.
Oh my god. Oh, and to top it off, he's using one of those British water kettle things that you plug in, too. Very British. Using that to dump it into another very British thing, a hot water bottle. So this is really, really hot water. I'd be curious to, like... It's funny, because I'm sure this is, like, very common and almost kind of boring for British people, but I want to feel this thing. How hot does it get? Like, and what kind of effect does it have on your bed? Is it like really toasty and warm? I mean, sounds kind of nice.
There's probably a couple of reasons that Americans don't use hot water bottles these days, but chief among them might be the fact that in America we favour top sheets. That's not this thing, this is the duvet. It's the sheet underneath the duvet that goes on top of you, so it's kind of an extra layer of insulation, and it also means you don't have to wash the quilt as often. And
I don't know what he really means by the word top sheet. I'm a pretty simple American guy, you know. I only have one sheet going on with a blanket. He's got duvets and top sheets. Maybe other Americans have multiple sheets. I personally, I've never really heard of that. I think we don't have hot water bottles just because most people just use their heater, turn on the heat, and it's just simply not something anybody knows about here.
I flippin' love top sheets. Do you know why? It's not just because of that insulation. In fact, sometimes I find it gets a little too warm. But what you can do is you can just lift the duvet off and only sleep under the top sheet if you're too hot.
I mean, this is something you find a lot in hotels in America, like the multiple sheets. Some people just sleep under the thin sheet that's on top of the other sheet as a blanket. That's true. But I've seen this in hotels, but it's considered a little fancy.
Because that means you still stay warm, but it also means that your dog won't lick you when you are asleep. So That's useful. Whereas growing up in Britain, a top sheet was very much optional, some might say extravagant. And so it'd be interesting
I would say that's how it is here as well.
to see Lawrence in England if top sheets are around today.
You can probably barely see me, but I am in bed in a hotel in London. And because I've just had a bath, which is something that I do whenever I visit England, because the bathtubs are better, I'm really hot. And the problem is, there's no bloody top sheet, so I can't do my top sheet trick. And I'm just going to have to sweat buckets or just lay out naked in the bed. There's no...
Right, and there's apparently there's no air conditioning to turn on, which is still crazy to me, but okay.
dog, so it's probably easier.
And finally, melatonin. This is a supplement that I'd never heard of that is...
Melatonin. I can't believe that made this list. Yeah, this is a really popular thing. I didn't know this was an American thing. Like, is this... It's an over-the-counter drug you can buy at a grocery store that basically helps you go to sleep. You got to be careful. Melatonin is a chemical that's naturally produced by your body to help you sleep. And Americans just like to take more of it. And I hear that it helps you go to sleep. I don't use it. I don't like to mess with that kind of stuff, really, if my sleep is okay on its own. But I know lots of people who use melatonin. I've even heard that they make this for children, like, which is kind of, I don't know about all that.
Designed to help you sleep if you're having trouble doing so. And I say I'd never heard of it. I'd never heard of it until I moved to America.
I am really surprised by that. It's like how a hot water bottle is so common in Britain that you all know about it. We've never heard of it. Melatonin is so common in America. I'm surprised that he hasn't heard about it.
Because here, if you're just in casual conversation with somebody about how you're finding it hard to sleep, they might say, ooh, you should try melatonin, that you could just pick up off the shelf at Walmart. You have to pay for it. Don't just walk out without paying. Point is, you don't need a prescription or anything like that. Whereas in Britain, Lawrence in Britain, melatonin is not authorised for sale and is only accessible with the aid of a prescription from...
See, this worries me. Why is it so available in America, but in Britain you need a doctor's prescription? It makes it sound like this is a very serious drug that we're not regulating enough here.
Your doctor. Instead, insomniacs might turn to antihistamines, herbal remedies, or Yorkshire bedtime tea. Thanks, Lawrence in Britain, who is by now sleeping his eyes out. Let me know in the comments.
Wow. That was really interesting. Like I said, I didn't expect sleeping or sleep time to be all that different between Britain and America, but it's pretty different. Like, we go to sleep in our different ways. Like that, we get to sleep, but the way we do it and the different comforts we enjoy specifically are really different. And there's stuff in each country that the other doesn't even have. It's actually pretty fascinating. This was a great video. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of these sleeping differences. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and seeing British things I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.